Kia Stokes as well didn't have a single point in those 3 matchups. Just kind of rebounded and played defense, was a minus 47. So they've exploited some mismatches within that. And, Stokes being a non-shooter, Clark being a nice 3-and-D player, but not very tall, not very big and lanky. They try to take advantage of some of those matchups. And we're going to see what the Aces can kind of do to combat that. Because, once you get Kia Stokes in space, it's kind of over at that point, that she can't guard you in space because she doesn't have the foot speed. She's a lot better in the paint in the interior. That's where she does her work at defensively. But the Aces are going to have to mix things up. Whoa! Hold on, wait a minute. You mean to tell me you're not subscribed to the channel? If you are, my bad. But if you're not, what are you doing? Right over here. Hit the subscribe button. Do that for me. I appreciate it. In terms of that, they're going to have to get some more action from some bench players probably, or they're going to end up going 6 deep straight up if they can't play Kia Stokes sometimes. And that's going to depend on, can Alicia Clark play improve compared to what she gave you the other 3 times against the Liberty in those losses. So we'll have to see what they're able to roll out. Obviously, Asia's going to be a big focal point in this one. She's a much better player than she was in 2020, and she's the de facto main reason that they're there this time, and she wasn't the last time out. Even though she played okay throughout the playoffs. And played pretty well. But Angel's the one that sent them there back in 2020. But there's a lot of questions surrounding how they're going to play. The Aces and how the Liberty are going to play. Or how the Aces are going to play the Liberty. Will they play much zone? Are players going to match up man to man? What are we going to do here? Will Sabrina finally, turn things on in these finals? Will Stewie turn things on in the finals as well? She hasn't had the strongest playoffs, but all those questions are going to be coming about. But one of the X factors who's been playing really well throughout the course of the playoffs, BJ, for the New York Liberty, that's Jonquel Jones. Really been playing really well ever since the end of the All-Star break. Has really kind of found her confidence again and has been a double-double machine throughout these playoffs, and her defense has been paramount as well. But there's going to be a big-time matchup here, and a lot of things are going to be at play here within this matchup. What are you seeing within these stars? Do you have an X factor for this one? Mine, definitely Jonquel Jones for the Liberty. If I had to say one for the Aces, I'd probably have to say Chelsea Gray. If Chelsea Gray is on and, popping like she was last year in the WNBA finals, then my goodness, who in the world will stop her? And if you gotta say man, who's going to stop her to 2 players, out there, then it's going to be a different type of day. Because you don't want to have to sell out, for 2 players like that. You hope that just, one player has it going, and on the offensive side in that regard. But you got an X factor for this?
Yeah. So you're right on the money for the Aces. It's got to be Chelsea Gray. It's if she's able to give as good of a performance as we saw from her last year, especially in those finals against Connecticut, then they've got a really good chance of winning. But for me, as much as I think that Stewie's going to have it turned on, and as she always seems to get up for these finals games, as we talked about with her performance in the 2020 and the 2018 finals, I think the X factor for the Liberty is actually Sabrina. I like what we've seen from Jonquel in the playoffs, and I think that they might have some answers, especially for her. But it's really going to come down to, I think, how Sabrina does. That's one player for the Liberty that really needs to step up, because there's going to be a lot of attention on Stewie. There's going to be a lot of attention on Jonquel for what we've seen from them so far in the playoffs. But it's going to come down to Sabrina, I think, is going to be the true X factor for New York. And I really think that her having a big performance in game 1 might surprise some people, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think if she's able to have a big game in game 1, this is going to be very interesting coming down to the final game potentially type of series.
Yeah, game 1 is always a huge one.